welcome to the SC Playbook NBA podcast for the final time in 2026.
Wow.
It's Charlie White here. It's a sad day, but a happy day for some as well because Alex Sumsky and Matty G are here. And Alex, you are still a chance of winning this damn thing.
It's hard. It would take it will take a miracle at this point.
Yeah.
I could probably finish second if I get lucky. First is a bit of a stretch now. Made a bit of a bold play in order to try and preserve my position, and I did so. We were just talking to Matty about this by sacrificing a grand final win this week in our comp.
He basically just wants to listen to get the money. You're being very brave and noble about this.
Well, maybe, who knows?
It's very NBA to be tanking at the moment anyway. So
Yes, it is. It's on brand, isn't it?
it's on brand, yeah.
You want a higher draft pick, Sumsky?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see how it goes.
How are you, Matty? You good?
Mate, yeah, good. Big love to Papa G right now. Been up on the Gold Coast for the past few days. The big fella's ticker isn't talking the right way. So a big open heart surgery planned for Papa G. So prayers up for him tomorrow. So been up with the family, which also taught me the lesson before you're going into the hospital for the day and you make your trades and you set your captaincy on Wemby and your vice captaincy on Shea. Don't click optimize as you're going back in from the visiting hours. Because it thought the best shout for me for the week, he hit 50 today, was Luka. And I was like, I saw it afterwards. I got out. I was like, wait, he was suspended today. What are you doing to me, App? But, mate, I'm good, mate. What an absolute cracking week so far with some of the big guns in these playoff seeds. We spoke about it. With the playoffs on the line, there are like 7 games to go now in the NBA, something, 7?
Yes, and it's not just with the playoffs on the line, it's the MVP award on the line.
Absolutely.
Is it on the line, though?
It is.
It is.
I reckon that's absolute nonsense that Wemby's even being considered
What?
for
No,
MVP.
I don't.
No way. Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. It should be-
Single-handedly the most impactful player on a basketball court is Victor Wembayama. I give him more to defense because not everybody can play awesome defense. I mean, not everyone is like, Shea is brilliant. Like, Joker is probably still the number 1 player in the league. Overall, him and Shea are. But you're looking at plus and minus, whatever. I think Shea is, if he wins it, absolutely well-deserved. But every single time that I hear that, like, what are we doing with Wemby? I mean, yes, it's front to back the whole season, but they've both been different situations. They minutes cap Wemby. He's plus 32. You've got to go off that as well. But, man, I don't know, man. If he wins it, there's still a chance on for and against if they can clinch the number 1, and they are only 3 wins behind OKC. Now, OKC has 6 games to go. And if they lose 2 or 3 of those, and they've got 1 game behind on, if they lose 3.
I'm kind of with you. Like, I think that it's a lot tighter than people want to think.
Yep.
Like, Charlie, let me hit you with these.
Hit me with some stats.
So try this.
Wemby doesn't even play 30 minutes a night.
No.
Hello. First of all, when Steph won his first MVP, he was playing 23 minutes.
Yeah, 23 minutes.
Just about.
And there's only 2 other MVPs in the course of history that played 30 minutes or less, I think it is. I think one of them randomly was like Bill Walton in the 70s because they were like, who do we give it to? Bill Walton's pretty good.
Yeah.
You guys are getting caught up in recency bias.
70s.
Wemby just on this last stretch. Which, by the way, the Wemby has won. How many games is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in a row. 14 of the last 15. Just across these last 5 games. Or even if you just look at the last 4. 26 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 blocks. 19 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 blocks, 3 steals. 23 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. 41 points. Oops.
Whoa, look out. Is there 50? Was that
41 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 1 steal. By the way, he's shooting like 60% from the field. All in 30 minutes. Doesn't lose a game. There's no one. I mean, the only other person that's close, in my opinion, right now is Luka.
That's an interesting take.
Yes.
Wow, this is a take.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shea's fine, but it's a surgeon. We're storming home with Luka and Wemby right now, and Jokic is still
child custody battle. Luka is an absolute demon on the court.
Yes.
This is crazy. Look, and still number 1 in assists and rebounds in the NBA is Nikola Jokic. Like, let's call it how it is. The guy is phenomenal. If you're looking at minutes and points and efficiency, on efficiency ratio, the number 1 player in the league for efficiency is Jokic.
Yeah.
Efficiency player number 2 is actually Luka. above Shea, which is actually a crazy thing because one of the
pretty wild.
which is wild. One of the things that we always ding Luka on is efficiency, and that's back to Supercoach. Sometimes why we haven't captained him. I mean, even though it was an accidental captaincy this week, it's because of this. And the guy's on a tear right now. When Jokic is on your side, it's got to look at these efficiency ratings. Number 4 is actually Wemby. So we're talking about the 4 most efficient guys in fantasy. Funnily enough, there's an interesting little side hack here. Efficiency rating, I'll go down the names on this one. Jalen Johnson. Look at these sexy names in Supercoach. Kawhi Leonard. Tyrese Maxey, anyone? Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren. Jamal Murray. Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Brown. Alperen Şengün. Don Mitchell. Ant Edwards. Durant. Harden. Advia. And Scotty Barnes. So I'm saying one of the little things next year, and a big hack, I guess, as we go take away from this year in Supercoach, what we can look to next year in Supercoach is follow your NBA efficiency rankings. Those guys will give you a pretty good beat on who's actually putting up the numbers Supercoach-wise, because some of these guys, look at the top 20 in Supercoach, mate, and they're right there.
And we're talking, talking about SGR. I know you balked at the idea,
Yeah.
but when you look at how the rest of the back end of this season has gone, not just from a wins perspective, win share perspective, but there is not one major statistical category that Shea is outperforming Luka in. Luka is averaging more points, more rebounds, more assists, more steals. His defense in this last month or so has just been ridiculous.
He's playing defense, which is also insane to say.
But for the season, he's got better averages across the board.
Yeah.
And
If you're going to give it to Luka, though, I'd give it to Jokic. Because
I don't think they've been great. I mean, look,
Nikola Jokic is averaging a triple-double, scoring nearly 30 points a night.
Yeah.
And he is, I know, I'm actually a bit worried about Denver defensively. I think a lot of the time they seem to be exploiting Nikola Jokic in the pick and roll, and Jokic has not been defending with much exuberance, I must admit.
Yes,
he hasn't.
But I don't know. I think Shea should get it. He's averaging 32 points a night. He's averaging 6 assists. Best team in the NBA. I know it's close, but he's played 64 games, I think, Shea as well. How many games has Wemby played? 60, maybe?
He's played 60. You got Luka at 63. Shea is at 64. Wemby is at 60. Jalen Johnson's at 67 of all those top guys.
Yeah, like Wemby's only aavering, 25 a night?
Minutes? Yeah,
25 points per game. Points per game.
Oh, points per game. Yeah. And Wemby's
Yeah.
up to now 29.3 minutes. So he's at points is 24.5. And so, I mean, points is one thing when you look at that. Yeah, it's 5
But
points.
Shea's not a bad defender as well.
But
He's not a bad defender.
But
But how
Wemby's
many,
the best defender.
I know.
I'll give you your 5 points to Shea if you can tell me how many points or defensive changes that Wemby changes
Oh, God.
in the course of a game. Like his amount of block shots, if it's 5 alone in that stretch,
Yes.
that's at least 10 points saved. I just think either way, we're just blessed for basketball right now,
Yeah.
being at the absolute, like people are, it's peak. This is peak.
I don't think there's been a more impressive MVP battle. We've never had this caliber
I
of
agree.
candidates
I
ever.
agree.
Ever.
We are spoiled for choice and even have the debate.
Yeah.
And look, I love Shea. You know, I've picked up even his pink bloody SGA shoes. I love the 01s. The double 01s, I love them. Like, big fan of Shea. And I love how OKC has kind of like turned heel, like wrestling like villain in the NBA. Like, I'm kind of here for it, apart from Dort being a prick. But, you know, I love SGA. We're spoiled for it. But it's a whole season award. And both of them have had incredibly crazy seasons. Like, do we remember the beginning of the season that OKC had? Going back in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
Like, those guys were untouchable. Hartenstein's gone down for long periods. J-Dub has been in and out of the lineup with things. Shea's really had to carry a team from OKC to where they are. And for that alone, that's why he would get my vote. Because without them, OKC would have fallen off the rails really quick with all those outs.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens because the Thunder play the Lakers. So
Yes.
that'll answer a lot of questions.
And if he has an off game, this is, as you said, like there's a lot of stake for MVP and for our seasons.
a lot.
And a lot of super coaches still, I know that I think they're on 3-game week this week, Shea. I left him in there because this was one of the reasons. Because I was like, he is going to go absolute full tilt. And so will J-Dub because J-Dub loves trying to do stuff on LeBron.
Just bringing this back to Supercoach for a second.
Yep.
Can I tell you the move that I made?
I would love.
It's a gamble. We have no idea how, like, by the time this episode goes out,
Yep.
people will realize whether this was the right play or the wrong play.
Yep.
So I was chatting to Timmy about this actually over text because I was in a bit of a situation where, again, I didn't know this and I was confused, but I'd made the grand final and when I'm making my team, I'm like, okay, do I build a team for this week to win this week? or do I build a team that could last the next 2 weeks to put up a monster 2-week score and climb the rankings?
You didn't trade out Jokic, did you? You kept Jokic in your team on the bench or somewhere, didn't you?
I held Jokic.
You held I knew it.
In my flex for a 2-gamer this week.
Wow.
In the hopes.
That's massive.
But in the hopes that he has a ridiculous game against the Jazz tomorrow at midday. That was my plan.
Wow. I would hope he doesn't have a ridiculous game and that the Jazz decide to play so it's competitive and he has to actually put up numbers instead of like they walk him off at halftime. Filipowski blow-up game. Hello.
I think that he had the potential, and I'm thinking if he can drop something maddening against the Jazz and put up, say, like a 60 or a 65 in Supercoach, and then I can settle for a 45 because he's been averaging about 50.
Yep.
Over the last stretch.
Yeah.
If he could punch out a 60 and a 50 and I live on 110
you'll be happy with
this week.
That's fair.
I would actually take that knowing that I get 4 games next week, don't have to make any trades, and the rest of my team will all be on 4 games I can get a monster score.
And this is the crazy thing about next week. And let's talk about next week in the jump in the DeLorean and go back to the future.
Yeah.
26 teams in the NBA next week are on 4 games.
Yes.
The only teams playing 3 games are those Jazz, the Kings, the Pelicans. Thank God we don't have to watch much of those 3 teams much anymore basketball-wise.
And the Hornets.
And the Charlotte Hornets. So those are the only teams. So we are absolutely... That's why I finally put Con Knipple out this week. I was like, thank you for your service, Con. Best of luck in your Rookie of the Year race, which is getting tighter and tighter by the day because Cooper Flagg's been on a nice little tear lately. But whatever trades you made this week, you know that you're boldly going to probably hold those next week. So that's a really fair call. Who did you bring in there?
It was a big play. I'll tell you the team that I'm currently running and the score that it's currently producing.
You know who you spoke about Dončić v Shea.
Yeah.
We've got Nicola v Wemby.
We
on
do.
Sunday morning, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Sydney time.
Worth waking up for.
Worth waking up for indeed.
Kids will probably start stirring. Oh, it's Easter Sunday.
Easter
Sorry,
Sunday.
family.
Yeah, chocolate. Get the chocolate out.
So the team that I ran in the end was Dončić,
Yep.
Wemby as captain,
Okay.
Yep. Thanks.
Shea as my vice captain,
Same. Spiritual legal.
Jalen Johnson,
Fair. Good shout.
Buzelis this week.
Zealous, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, fair. Bit of a disappointing start for you.
With him, yes, I was hoping for a little bit more. Reed Shepherd, who impressed me because I really liked Houston's schedule.
Week 1 hero for super coaches as well. Let's just pour some salt out, some water on the water. Who had him in their lineup first week? Wasn't he 20% rostered on week 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was one of, I had him then, and I was like, you know what? And he's produced 27. He's
been on a great tear.
He outscored Şengün in Supercoach points, who I didn't pick up. Durant and Amen Thompson, who did well.
Yep.
And then I've got Scotty Barnes, who majorly disappointed.
Really disappointed.
And then Jokic sitting there in my flex.
See, right now the strategy's paying off because you're at 355 already.
Yes.
And for everyone who, what are you at currently?
I'm at 331.
I'm going back to it now. I had
367.
I was 367.
331 for me.
So a big game from Jokic tomorrow, a massive game, and I'm squarely in it.
I like it.
I'm squarely in it.
I was happy. I did my my changes. I put in Barnes, Şengün, and Duran for the week because
That's nice.
But unfortunately, then Jalen Duran missed one, I believe.
Yeah.
Which was a shame. But hey, let's ask the big question: is Paul Reed better than Jalen Duran now, or is DeAndre Ayton after today's 50? Hopes are restored. DeAndre Ayton hit 50 Supercoach points today.
Insane.
I know.
I thought that was crazy.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Are you expecting any other crazy end of season shenanigans to creep up?
I mean, I talked about this last week. I don't the things that I'm expecting, and it's sort of coming to pass now. But it's I'm expecting just ridiculous, disgusting performances from the rest of the MVP candidates for the next couple of weeks. That's why I'm over.
That's why you had Jokic in.
I'm over indexing on the big boys right now.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of a muchness for me with my position. I had to take a big swing, but that's what I'm expecting the crazy numbers to come from, really.
For those people still in the hunt for the title and who maybe have their final, going on, for next week, are there any must-haves? Obviously, Jokic 4 games, but outside of that, boys, any must-haves?
Well, a must-have, depending on when Cade, I don't know what Cade's status is, but Jenkins
Dennis
for
Jenkins.
6.6 million. He's just been killing it.
He's at 40 already this week.
Yeah, I mean he's tremendous.
I'm praying that we get an update on Cade. On Cade, he's at 61 games. I am not one of the ones to swallow the Adam Silver pill of. We don't want to change the rule and make these things for one player. Well, it's just not about one player because you've got guys like Jokic who are at 60 games after his injuries. And maybe he does need actually some time in the tank next week if you looked at their schedules, even though they've got Portland. Okay, but you could probably throw away the Memphis game because their last 2 games of the season.
I wonder if they give up on catching out the Lakers as well. I wonder if Denver have given up on that. I reckon it will depend what happens to in the Thunder Lakers game. If Lakers somehow win that, I think Nuggets will give up on catching them and start to rest their players.
Well, the biggest thing for you is, you know how you mentioned that on Sunday morning for us, we've got Wemby versus Jokic. Next week's even sexier. They actually finish against Wemby again for the very last game of the season on the Sunday. And the game before that, they play OKC next week.
Wow.
So within that space, Denver's last 2 games is against OKC and San Antonio. So if it's SGA wanting to plant his flag next week, you want those 3 guys because those are the guys. That's why it was a bold strategy. But I reckon it's the go right here. And heavily index-wise, I know that he's the undisputable favourite to be the MVP. But I tell you now, even you're like a little cheeky on Wemby just to give it a shot. Because if in that game next week, San Antonio can get away with a couple of extra wins right there, that might tilt something. But they've got Dallas, Denver, Portland, and Philadelphia, a bit of an easier route for them to the final.
So it's just the big dogs mainly that we need.
You want the big dogs.
Yeah.
Apart from Cade, you want to probably leave Cade off. Tyrese Maxey returns to 4 games, maybe a little bit of a push from him.
I have him on my list.
You probably have him on your list. So I'm definitely looking to bring in guys like, I'm definitely avoiding Cade because he only needs to play 4 games. So even if he is back before the end of this week, and there was rumors that he might get clearance to play minimal minutes even to make the restriction, like they just want to dole him out there if it's not a medical risk, and that could be any time of a game. So that was even talk internally. Probably well deserved to do it so we can get into an NBA third team because the amount of back end dollars for those guys is incredible. I would be saying though, you're probably looking for anyone chasing positionality next week. So I might even be looking for someone like, you've got Steph Curry, Houston Rockets, you've got the Rockets guys. Clippers, I've definitely pulling out Kawhi in my team.
Yep.
They definitely need those 4 games next week. I've got him in there already, but he's got Dallas, OKC, Portland, and Golden State. That's all play-in numbers for them, and they're hoping to avoid that play-in or at least get to the top of that chamber. So I'd be looking at them. 4 games-wise, you definitely want Luka for that seeding in the East. Probably a little look at LeBron as well, because he's been actually motoring along with the side as well, so that's probably a bit of an outside look. Apart from that, Anthony Edwards returning might be a guard shout with the Timberwolves on a 4, and they want to make a bit of a statement in the Western Conference. But
kills Dozimu as well, doesn't it? Edwards come back. If you had held him for this week,
yeah, that was a last minute trade. Announced he was come back on just before the trade deadline, I believe, in Supercoach. So yeah, good for him. But mate, it's definitely the big dogs that next week you want to be having in that lineup. The holy trinity of could you go the quad? If you're lucky enough to have the quad in your team, if you're like Wemby, Jokic, Luka, and Shea, you would be having a monstrous last week of Supercoach.
I've got all of them in my team as of right now.
Congrats.
So I'm not. I'm getting rid of the junk.
Yeah.
It's just those.
You've gone top heavy. It's not. We've discussed this all year. We've discussed money.
It's worked.
It's worked. Yeah, it's worked.
And that's the only thing I'm doing. I am pulling all my dollars. I've got enough bench there. I am just pretty much bringing in Jokic because I've got Luka, Shea. I've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Absolutely love what he's done in Atlanta, and I'll happily keep him there in my shooting guard spot. Wemby, Luka. I'm going to be getting rid of Barnes and just plug and play in someone in there on the side for Scotty Barnes. Maybe a nice little downgrade. But mate, I've got Şengün. It's probably Duren who's the money right there that I probably have to get rid of, only because it's the center spot. And you can't have. That's the big shame. You can't bring these guys in. So Jalen Duren and someone else cheeky off my bench like a Jay Huff or whatever.
He's not a dual. He's not a dual position.
Not a dual position, unfortunately, because you can never, unfortunately, have Duren, Jokic, and Wemby in there. But Duren served really well. I think one of my surprise packer. Who's been a surprise packer for you guys? Duren for me this year, revelation. He'll make an All NBA team. Great Supercoach player, one of the best this season, especially being on a run without Cade. Anyone else getting like late season awards from you guys? Is something like your
I think we
standouts?
should do that. Yeah, let's do a bit of that. Little bit of like season in review stuff. I mean, Tyrese Maxey's impressed me this year.
100%.
Like I know he's not like a huge shock, but he just continued excellence, and I thought he really stepped up.
7th overall
on points
with his game.
Okay,
7th overall in
yeah.
Supercoach on points for the year.
Yeah, wow.
Even with his outs.
For me, it's like my personal MVP has been Jalen Johnson, no doubt.
100%.
For Supercoach, he's bailed me. He's been, for the most part, I've had about 2 weeks of
We lost the faith.
inconsistency.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he's had about a 90% hit rate on success. He has just always delivered. I even took a gamble on him on a 3-game week last week.
Yep,
And
same.
he still produced 96.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I needed in order to win my matchup by like 10 points or something like that. And he ended up being the difference maker. He's been my personal MVP this season.
I'm still gonna stick with Duran only for this.
Yeah.
Of all the guys, and you know how I was on Kawhi early for the season. I thought
Yes,
that
you
was
were.
improved. He's gone up to 11.2% ownership now. And he was even down in 2% ownership up to like maybe 3 weeks ago. But I think people have started to see it. Of all of the top 20 guys, who would you say would be the least of, and I'm talking on this season. So I'm talking total points on the course of the year. Here we go. Total points course of the year. What ownership would you think would be amongst the lowest ownerships?
We're looking at that. Is it Donovan Clingan?
It's Donovan Clingan.
It's gotta be.
1.1% of owners in Donovan Clingan. And overall for the year, Clingan is the 18th best. Now, he's had a bit of a downer to start with, only 8 points today. But I think that little cheeky Donovan Clingan is the breakout season that I think brings our attention to what he can probably do for us in the future.
Name recognition. That's
Yep.
that's the only problem for him, unfortunately. Other
'Cause-
than that, he's amazing.
Underneath that, you got Julius Randle and James Harden, of all people, in
Wow.
the 19 and 20 spot. The big one for me is Jalen Duran, 14th best player so far this year. That's incredible for him. Also, shout out to Amen Thompson, who's played well throughout the season, finishing in 11th, and Karl Anthony Towns, big purr at 10.
We all know who probably our standout MVPs are. One thing that I'm curious and I wanted to ask is who's your woat? Who has just has underperformed for you on and off all year long and just been like a thorn in your side, or that you were never able to get right,
One that I never got right.
or missed the mark from, like they just did not meet expectations at any point.
Well, Julius Randle, whenever I bring him
He's
in,
on my list. He's
he
on my
never
list.
performs
I was
whenever I
about
don't
to-
have
Yep,
him.
I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. He's definitely up there for me. I've got a few other names, but yes.
Oh, who else? I'm actually stuck. I guess my biggest irk was Filipowski, only recently because I touted him, but then they pulled him. But that's the Utah Jazz. I think that was probably the one. Oh, you know what? It would probably have been Brandon Ingram earlier in the season, or Emmanuel. Like when those.
That's a
remember-
pretty good one.
You know when they
Brandon
had it?
Ingram's a good one.
And I think Brandon Ingram, by the way, I actually don't like, I know the Team USA stuff didn't go well. I know that Golden State said, no, we're not going to trade for this bloke because of the whole Steve Kerr thing with him with Team USA. Straight up, Brandon Ingram has had a brilliant season, and I wouldn't be surprised to end up seeing him. People are like, oh, he's an all-star. Actually, BI had a great year. Like, he had a really, really solid year. And I actually would probably say he was, of all the Toronto Raptors, behind Scotty Barnes and Supercoach, I would probably be saying that he is the number 2. Yeah, there you go, number 2. 1,400 Supercoach points for the year, just above IQ.
Yeah, right.
But when I brought him in, he didn't perform for me. And that actually was the bane of my existence because I've actually been a big fan of the year that he's had in fantasy and in Supercoach.
I'm 100% on board with you. The outside of Julius Randle was definitely mine.
Yeah. Can I guess one of yours?
Go try,
Benedict Mathurin.
mate.
Eggs Benny?
Yes. So I've got 3.
Oh.
He's one of them.
Okay.
That was just. I don't know if you remember the hype train.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I
that
wasn't
week,
on it, though. I said it from the start.
No,
I said,
you were
And
right.
there
You
was
were
the
right.
fear that Kawhi might miss extended
Yes.
period that week with the ankle. He only missed the one game at the front.
The
Yep.
whole thing was
Yep.
just a mess, and I couldn't time him right once.
Yeah.
And it would only ever stung me, and I kept going on and off and on, and it was a 5-week affair that just broke my spirit. And then the only other one that really stuck out to me and was Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey.
I had him at the start of the season. I had
held
him.
him.
Yeah.
You had him at the start
At
too?
the start, yeah.
I had him just benched most of the time.
Yeah,
Like, I
same,
forgot
yeah.
I owned him.
Yes, yes.
And I think the Utah Jazz forgot they owned him. Like, have a contract with him as well to play him professional basketball minutes.
I wonder if Supercoach changes it next year and doesn't price all the rookies at the same price.
Or at that second year price, because that was what we saw
Yeah.
with Reed Shepherd this year. So could you
Yeah.
imagine picking up Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple next year
$4
for the same
million.
price that we
Yeah.
saw Reed Shepherd at the beginning of this
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
being a second year player? Because if that's the part that continues up for SC next year,
Yeah.
a lot of people are going to be on. Like, imagine the numbers that second year Cooper Flagg is going to be putting up at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year.
No, you're
Like,
right.
that's someone you want to invest in early again. But
Yeah.
you just know those break evens are going to skyrocket. I do have actually one more name.
Mm-hmm.
I just was having a quick look through the chart. Kalel Ware.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Now that was an absolute seesaw. Like, he was in for lineups and he was doing great.
I didn't touch him for that reason.
I
but
touched.
yeah.
I think it may be 1 week, but that was the week that I was like, "Yep, nope, not going to do it." And then the next week, he found himself into the starting lineup and being a top performer in Supercoach. The week I kicked him out for the next 2 weeks, that was a bit unfortunate. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
think-
I
yeah,
dropped Bam the week leading into his 80-point game or whatever he got. So
It's okay. A lot of
Yeah,
people did.
yeah.
A lot of people, who was one guy you've enjoyed owning the most? Like,
love Jamal Murray.
Yep.
Obviously, Nuggets bias here,
Oh,
but Jamal Murray has performed in a very consistent way.
Mate.
A huge leap this year for Jamal.
He's there for me too.
Yeah.
I haven't had one bad week when I brought him in. He's never let me down.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it's too easy to say Jokic.
Yeah.
Jokic has never let anyone down, really. That and another guy that I've it's been a joy to own since I was
Joy.
so high on him from day one. I was screaming from the hilltops to get him at 19 million. It's having Luka. It's been
He has his jerseys.
I do. I've got to sort that
No,
down.
wait until the end of the season. I've
got to
the
sort
half
that.
price.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
Boxing Day sale. Hey, Merry Christmas, boys. No, look, he's been like the thing about Luka this year is, and look, let's be fair. Let's back Charlie to the point. There was a time where the LA vibe wasn't great.
Yeah, it was off.
And-
It was off.
And I think they, in part, have a lot to listen to this podcast. And Luka specifically, who heard you.
Of course. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to inspire the troops.
You inspired the troops,
Yeah.
and they absolutely turned it around because he's been like, he's had a really good second half of the season. And again, whatever's going on with him personally, it's a lot. You can actually see you going back into your shell and being like, I'm going through work. He's working out his personal life and his basketball right now. And fantasy managers in the fantasy playoffs recently, and Supercoach managers towards this bulky part of the season have been absolutely blessed by that. Your boy, by the way, 8th overall currently. Jamal Murray.
8th overall, yeah,
For
wow.
the season, which is
Wow.
an absolute massive one for him.
incredible.
Can I give another shout to someone?
You can.
Amen Thompson.
Oh, yes.
Like
Yep.
I did not expect him to be as consistent. Amen
No.
Thompson, just unbelievable year for him.
Who's had some dings in the NBA this year. People don't know, like people even saying that it wasn't being the leap that they needed, with the point guard needed in Houston. Supercoach wise, you're laughing yourself. I think he's just top 10, isn't he?
He's
yeah,
11.
He's 11.
11, just checked
just
it, yeah.
outside by 80 points to big Karl Anthony Towns. Then I do want to say one guy who I haven't touched all year, who I want to take the hat off to. He's had a brilliant one, and he's not going to get the accolades because Jason Tatum's back now. Jaylen Brown. He has been absolutely incredible for the Boston Celtics. And the limelight never goes onto him. And he has that really cool edge, like, chip on the shoulder attitude, Jaylen Brown. Like, look at me. I was the Eastern Conference MVP. I was the NBA Finals MVP. I didn't get picked for the Olympic team.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this year, the funniest thing at the beginning of the season was his hairline narrative. You know what I mean? Like that, maybe
Yes, the dye melting.
the dye melting.
The Rudy
thing.
Giuliani, whatever his name is.
Yeah, like that was the biggest plot line for him at the beginning of the season. But the guy in the Boston Celtics have put together an absolutely insane run. And now they've got Jason Tatum back with 37-point games, and they're looking really good in the East for a nice deep run. So just a bit of flowers to Jaylen Brown in the season that he's had.
I like it.
Yes.
Because it's very easy to talk about like the Anthony Edwardses of the world and all these other big shiny heroes. But like he deserves a first team NBA almost nomination for the year.
Yeah.
Won't probably get it, but he'll definitely be on the second team, and he'll definitely be someone we look. And I don't think he'll be as good this year with Tatum back in the lineup and what's going to happen. There'll be a great team. But this was his year, and he's carried a great Celtics team. And I hate the Celtics, so and don't hate. Oh, you do?
Yep.
I'm not the biggest Celtics fan. Not a big Lakers fan opposite them, but I'm just not. There's never been a Boston guy because
yeah.
it's not me. But
Yeah.
love good basketball.
Yeah.
And the Celtics. Shout out to the big quesadilla and Nemea Skater. He's had a brilliant season as well.
Yep.
Yeah, but JB's been absolutely incredible this year.
100%.
Who have you held all year?
Conkinipple.
Every game?
Boy, Conkinipple. We love you, Con.
But I mean every game.
Yeah, until this week.
Okay.
I think I can't even remember when I bought the guy in. I bought him in really super early. I have to go back through it, but I held him for even when I said I'm trading him out, I could not do it. I would bench the bloke, knowing that he had a 4-game week coming up the week after, or even I'll play Con on 3. I'll take that hook from I held on for dear life, and also Ace Bailey. Funnily enough, I just had Ace Bailey hanging around my line, going, "Oh, I've got him. Oh, geez, he's scoring like points," and he was sitting on my bench. And I activated him for 2 weeks, and he was real decent.
Jalen Williams.
J-Dub.
Jalen, no, the center.
Yeah.
The shit Jalen Williams.
He's just been sitting there for you all year.
All year, since game 1.
He's just sitting there.
I've done it the entire season. I've held him all year.
Can I actually say Jay Huff's just randomly sitting on my bench? I forgot when I put him in there. Look, Jay Huff's still sitting there. I forgot that. Again, forget that you own him. Jay Huff.
You've got Kuminga.
I've held Kuminga for that because he's just been making my cash until this week. I think his break even is 54. He's at 19 for the week, I think it is right now. But he has made me cash. He's lost it. I got him very early, and that's just been sitting there because, again, with Danny Wolf as well, with that injury, I've just put all my cash I can to keeping my best 9 players on the court because that's what counts in Supercoach at the end of the day. You don't even need to play for your 10. I think a lot of people try to put 10 really studs in at one point and divide that. Now, if one of them disappoints, you've got that backup plan. But if you're really confident and bold in your strategy, I think a lot of the top super coaches put a heck of a lot of cash into their top 9. A little bit of upside cash in that 10th spot, which could come to fruition sometime, and all the rest was buried on the bench.
Yeah.
100%.
Anything else we need to cover in our final episode of the year? I just want to say I'm so sick of watching regular season basketball, and I'm ready for the playoffs.
Get me there, man.
Get me to the playoffs.
On our podcast, we did a playoff preview.
Yeah.
And just going through the motions there and pulling up the bracket and the whole thing. Oh my gosh, it got me so ready for playoffs.
I am so toey for the playoffs.
I am. Can I do my sicko NBA take for a second?
Yeah.
Actually, really, really keen for play-in basketball.
Me too.
So you guys do too?
Yeah.
I know people hate the play-in tournament.
No, I love the play-in.
No,
I'm
no.
a huge play-in guy.
Me too.
Like 7 versus 10, Philadelphia 76ers versus Charlotte Hornets right
Amazing.
now. Now, after that block from Embiid the other day, I reckon the Hornets have got an absolute... So I'm actually looking forward for a vengeance game.
I love watching the
there.
Hornets as well.
Yeah, they're great.
I love their announcer. I love everything about their... I want the Hornets to be good.
And they were 4 from 14 to start the year. They could very well be a 45-win team. The Eastern Conference, 10 teams to make the playoffs or play in, could be 45-win teams. That is absolutely insane considering that the 10th seed right now in the West is the Golden State Warriors on 36 wins. Like, heck of a year for the East. But I'm looking forward to Phoenix if they can't creep up, and I don't think they can catch Houston. Phoenix versus Golden State, very tasty, and I think the Clippers might wipe the floor with Portland in that 8-9 battle.
Yeah.
Very, very juicy play-in.
Very juicy playing.
There's a lot to look forward to over the next
next week. Even in the West, if you got say you've got OKC Clippers, Spurs Suns.
Yeah.
I don't think Spurs are a guarantee to beat the Suns. They probably do, but they're not a guarantee.
What?
Yeah.
Are we joking?
Suns to beat the...
I don't think Spurs are 100% guaranteed to beat the Suns.
Really?
I think the Spurs are a potential first round exit.
This is the hottest take of the
Genuinely.
episode. Did you do this for clips?
But you
Is
don't.
this clips?
You really don't like Wemby or the Spurs.
I don't. I just don't. It's not that I don't like them, but I
Do you
don't.
like the French? Is this a country?
I mean, I can give or take the French.
Really?
But I just don't think they've done enough. Like in the playoffs, they've got no experience. This group together. They're young. They haven't tasted that blood in their mouth before. Of a
I don't
series.
think they're a title contender.
I think
for
they could
those
be a
reasons.
first-round
but
shot.
First round exit against the Suns.
Charlie White, that is a red hot take. I'll go on the record and say I actually reckon the San Antonio Spurs could win the Western Conference and actually give a hell of a scare and actually be a surprise title.
Okay.
I actually see if we do not get an MVP Wemby and he goes nuclear, scorched earth as a result of that with his the dude's not in the league to make buddies. The guy's in the NBA to win championships. And I think they have had an incredible year, the Spurs. I'm gonna zag. I'm gonna go. I wouldn't be surprised if the San Antonio Spurs could win it, and if he does not win MVP, I reckon the very next game, you're going to come out and see a Victor Wembayama performance for the absolute ages. If you see a 30, 10, 10, and 10 block game, do not be surprised if he goes thermonuclear in the playoffs and just obliterates the soul of somebody.
We'll see.
$1.17, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for MVP.
Let me tell you something, though.
Yeah.
4 days ago, it was $1.08.
Yeah. So you're saying 450 is a bit of value.
It's It's
Okay.
climbing. It's climbing.
Gamble responsibly if you're a gambler.
And
absolutely.
Wemby was like outside of the $20 mark.
He was $11 the other week, and now he's come into like 8 or 6 or something.
450.
This is within another 24 hours. I'll tell you now, it is.
Jokic will put him in, but Jokic will give him a bath, and then he'll drift out to $25. I'm saying
They've won 9 games in a row on the trot. The San Antonio Spurs, whatever it was from earlier on.
14.
14. It says win 9 here. The streak is 9. Do they drop one in between on the NBA app?
he missed a game. Did he rest a game? And they lost it.
I've got the streak.
They've won 9.
I'll back Sumsky. I've just got here. They've got.
To be fair, I was only going off his game log.
Oh, his
He
game
might have
okay,
rested.
yeah.
I think he rested a game and they lost it.
So they lost that one.
Yeah.
So they're on a 9-game burner
I think
right
Denver
now.
maybe even beat them in that game that he rested.
It could have been. They're like the top win streak in the West. They're 3 games behind OKC. Now, again, OKC have 7. It's unlikely that they lose, but they've got a challenging one coming up against some teams. Like, if you check that out, they've played 66 games. 76 games. They've only got 6 to go. If they lose half of them by any random chance, and they're behind on the game log, I think by, is it 2 games? Yeah, they're behind 1 more game. So the San Antonio have played 1 less.
Yep.
If they can somehow even tie in the Western Conference, that's a heck of a vote.
Well, they've got the Lakers twice. They've got
They do.
Denver and the Clippers away, and
Yep.
they play Phoenix. So it's a tough run home for the Spurs, for the OKC Thunder.
Good.
And look, it's the right time of the year to be hitting the Los Angeles Lakers, because I reckon they could split those games.
Yes, I think so too.
You do?
Yep.
I reckon they could split those games because OKC is without a doubt the best team in the NBA. We're not just talking by record here, and they are. They're the champs.
Yeah.
If you want to step to the throne, you've got to take down the champs, and that's how it should be. Yep. And they wear the crown really well. Mm-hmm. And I reckon some teams are going to want to make a mark, and I reckon Luka's going to want to make a mark in that game. And if the moment gets too big, I reckon they'll turn around the next game and actually try and make it at least competitive.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's getting me excited, all this chat.
Look at the goosebumps.
Like,
of the
I'm
NBA.
ready. I'm ready to go.
yeah, bring it on.
What date does the playoff start? It's like mid-April, isn't it?
Mid-April.
Get me to
Well,
mid-April.
the
Whenever
play-
we're all
the-
sitting down having a barbecue in the big game.
The play-ins will be probably anywhere from the 13th to the 15th, somewhere.
Okay, cool.
The playoffs. Will
Final day of the regular season is the 11th of
Yep.
April.
So that's-
Nuggets Thunder.
Yep.
Do it.
Bring it on, baby.
Bring it on.
Well done, Supercoach team.
Absolute
Yeah,
pleasure.
What a season.
Absolute
Go
pleasure.
SC Playbook.
Go
Yes.
SC Playbook. We'll be back bigger and better next year with lots of hot takes.
It's been a
And
pleasure.
I'll give
hot
you,
takes
and I'll
from
give you
White.
guys some jerseys as well.
Sounds
I'll leave you
good.
jersey.
We'll
Sounds
come in
good.
the first one wearing a Luka jerseys for you. And don't forget, if you
Might
are...
get them from Bali during the off-season.
You will. They'll have like the Lucas.
Yeah.
We're wondering why they're misspelled. If you don't forget, if you are into your sport, you're cranking up on all the things like footy.
Yes.
It's that type of year.
Yes.
SC Playbook has you absolutely covered for all of your super coach needs. It's not just about the NBA. There's AFL, there's NRL, and there's a whole bunch of great content out there. So make sure you like and subscribe to all things SC Playbook. Get your hat in the mix in the big rounds. Brother Tim, we'll love you to do that. We'll love you to do that. And I guess we're catching you next season.